Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanacharina Yamunatira Vanacharina Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Rama. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana-vrindasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utabadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatta Deshatarine Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Niti Namine Shri Varshavanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjala Premadhya Shri Rupa Anuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdesha Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurattishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Suratur Pangur Yamatergati Matsarvaswapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prashtralibhisevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasa Rambhi Vamshivata Tatastita Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunah Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, yeah. Okay, the video is off. Okay. Volume should be increased. Okay. So, welcome all of you. This third day. First session we had on introduction to Vedas. We found the 6 systems of philosophy in the Vedas in the Nyaya Prasthana. And in the second session, we heard about the 6 systems of philosophy, their names and their authors, their propounders. And also, they are all Manomaya Kosha, 6 systems of philosophy in connection with the 5 koshas, in connection with eating, sleeping, mating, defending, in connection with Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and also in connection with the source, different levels of sources which they talk about. And also discussed something about the commonalities between the 6 systems of philosophy. That is, they are all theistic because they accept Veda, but ultimately they are all atheistic. And they are atheism, organized atheism. We discussed about that. And also we learned that the 6 systems of philosophy, though they accept Veda, they conclude non-Vedic conclusions. And on that day we also discussed the 6 systems of philosophy. What is the purpose of this course? The purpose of this course is not to study the 6 systems of philosophy, but to refute them, and by refuting them have a small understanding about them, or an essential understanding about them. The refutation we are going to do based on Vedanta Sutras and ultimately Srimad Bhagavatam. So most of the part of the 6 systems of philosophy course will be basically refuting them based on Vedanta Sutras, because Vyasa in the Vedanta Sutras, he refutes all the 6 systems of philosophy, and Vyasa himself gives a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, on the Vedanta Sutras in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So before I really start today's class, this point which you are not going to forget, even if you forget other points of the course, that is, Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Since 6 systems of philosophy are refuted in the Vedanta Sutra, so 6 systems of philosophy are in Vedanta Sutra. And Bhagavatam is a natural commentary onto the Vedanta Sutra, that is why 6 systems of philosophy is found in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the 6 systems of philosophy are there in the Upanishads, because all the sages, they base their ideas on the Upanishads. So Upanishads are summarized in Bhagavad Gita, so 6 systems of philosophy is there in the Bhagavad Gita too. And ultimately we need to know inquiry actually lands up into what to do. If your inquiry is only to just know and you're not interested in knowing, applying what you know, so our Smriti is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So 6 systems of philosophy is there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is the practical application of the Bhagavad Gita. So 6 systems of philosophy is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita too. But we don't realize it. So this course is just to make you realize that these are all there because you have refuted them. Like for example, you have caught a thief. You don't know who is he, but you caught him and put him in the jail. So since he is in your jail, you know better about him than anybody else. So maybe his wife also may not be knowing about the thief, about her husband thief. But you know better because he's in front of you whole day in the jail. In the same way, those who are the proponents of Nyaya, Vaisheshika, they don't know so much about Nyaya, Vaisheshika and yoga and all. They are the devotees, because devotees, they have put them in the jail. They are defeated, caught hold them, put them in jail. You are doing nonsense, too much of nonsense. Then you know about them better. So in this way, this is introduction to our course. Today's class will be on this particular aspect, and then we'll go to today's class. I have sent you certain files. I hope all of you have got it. So in your mobiles, you must have got it. No, today I just now I sent. In all, just check in your mobiles. I sent to Prabhuji. I sent to you also. Yes. I sent to you, Mataji, also. I shared. So you okay. So these files.
So online students are saying the sound is little low. You can put little up.
Which mic?
This one.
It's obstructing. Where should I keep? Okay, now we are able to hear. Yeah, you're able to hear now. Chalo. The bigger one was. Okay. Whom should I send to?
Me.
Panchajanya?
Yes.
Nath. So I send these files. Yes. So that you can send to all those people who are in the online.
Yes.
So I think I send it to you. So in those notes which I sent, there is one file known as Vedanta Sutras VS, VED and SB. So open that file, VED and SB. Got it? Just to give you introduction, not that I'm going to teach the Vedanta Sutras for all of you, and it will happen one day before I die. This one. Only me and camera, nobody else. Maybe that kind of situation will come. Vedanta Sutras, you have to break your head. So in this you will see Vedanta Sutras, there are 4 chapters. Each chapter has got 4 padas in it. So this indicates chapter 1, pada 1, sutra 1, 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3 means what? First chapter, first pada, first sutra, like that. Okay, like that you have many, just see, go to the last, you will have what? Fourth chapter, fourth pada, 22nd. Now, these are the sutras. And now Vyasa's Bhagavatam, which verse of Bhagavatam is describing which sutra? Got it? So just a file, just even, it's lifetime of hard work in Gaudiya Acharya has done on that.
The first column is from the Vedanta Sutras and the second column is the Bhagavatam.
Yes, the first column is Vedanta Sutra. You see in the beginning itself it is written there. VS, Vedanta Sutra, SB. Got it? Huh? So now I introduce you to another book, another file. It is written VED Sutra, Vedanta Sutra. Word file. Open that. Got it? So in that you have Adhikarana. There is something called Adhikarana. Few sutras becomes one section, which is known as Adhikarana. And sometimes only one sutra will be in Adhikarana. Isn't it? Like for example, the first Adhikarana is only one sutra. First Adhikarana is then therefore inquire into Brahman. Now, the second Adhikarana from which everything originates from, Janmadhyasyataha. Third is Shastra Yonitva, that is only one Adhikarana. Fourth is all scriptures have ultimately prescribed Brahman. All scriptures. Ekam Satyapara. Shruteshtu Shabdhamulatvat. These are this thing. And then comes the fifth Adhikarana has got 7 sutras together. 7 sutras together makes one Adhikarana. Anyway, we're going to discuss day after tomorrow about this, but just to give you an introduction, not to keep you in suspense. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 7 sutras. What is the subject for it? Non-intelligent pradhana of Sankhya cannot be the cause of the world. So, Sankhya is refuted in this particular section. Now, you go to second Adhyaya, second Pada. Second Adhyaya, second Pada. Now, I wanted to do some hard work, that is why I am just telling you. Second Adhyaya, second Pada. All of you got it?
Yes.
So, the first Adhikarana is refuting Sankhya. Got it?
Yes, Maharaj.
The second Adhikarana is what? Refuting Nyaya Vaisheshikas, the atomic theory. Third Adhikarana is what? Refuting Buddha. Fourth Adhikarana is refuting Jainism. Got it? So now you go to one file, it said refuting Nyaya Vaisheshika Buddha and Jaina. Another file. Refuting Nyaya Vaisheshika Buddha and Jaina. Got it? So now, in summary, the Adhikarana is mentioned. You see, 2 to 11. That is 2 to 11. And then the Bhagavatam verses, which give commentary on 2 to 11. All verses are quoted here. 2 to 11 Vedanta Sutra. Yeah, this file I extracted from the original file where it is only talking about refuting Nyaya, Vaisheshika and Buddha. And some part of Jaina also are given because it's too long. I just to give you idea. So you know the map. See, in teaching, the technique is not to teach. The technique is to make to teach how to learn. If I teach, you will be a zombie. If I teach you how to learn, then you will be on your own whole life, carrying on, building on things. So this is the way, methodology to learn. That's all. So learning. Now you see all the Bhagavatam verses. Now, for example, there is another way of doing that. For you have a verse to be spoken. 7th canto, some verse came. Then you just check this file, find out which Vedanta Sutra it is refuting. And then you can also code like that. It is quoted somewhere else in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu or somewhere else, and then you can have an idea. The context of the verse has to be spoken. The context in which the verse is spoken, that has to be described first when you give a Bhagavatam class. Like today morning in the Bhagavatam class, I don't know how many of you heard. So in that first, I spoke 15 minutes about the context in which the verse is spoken. Otherwise, there is no rasa. Otherwise, okay, Vasudeva is talking about Krishna being the creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Krishna is supreme. But when Vasudeva says, it has some rasa. And the same thing spoken by Gajendra will have some other rasa. Got it? Gajendra also says, Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yata Etachidatmakam Purushaya Adibijaya Pareshaya Vadimahi Espinnidam Itaschedam Enedam. So he goes on. Same thing. Actually, the first two verses of Gajendra, whatever he told, Espin idam, enedam. Idam means this world. You are that world. Same thing. But when Gajendra says, he is speaking out of distress, being caught up by the crocodile. But Vasudeva is saying, he is saying in a different mood. So the prayers seem to be the same, but if you don't know the context of the person, then they'll be lost. That thought is lost. So this is a different way of doing the Bhagavatam and speaking of Bhagavatam and understanding Bhagavatam from the Vedanta point of view. Just see how much work has been done. If you just talk about refuting these philosophies, how many verses are there from the Bhagavatam? Practically more than 50 verses, 40 to 50 verses quoted in the entire file. You can go see the entire file. And how many Bhagavatam classes you require for this? Refuting refuting the atomic theory. So by reading the Bhagavatam, and Prabhupada gave the purpose of Bhagavatam, so you automatically are refuting the 6 systems of philosophy. So I have introduced you to 3 files. First one talks about Vedanta Sutras and their adhikaranas, their sections, and the Bhagavatam verses, Bhagavatam verses. So second one talks about Vedanta Sutra adhikaranas. Adhikaranas means sections. In simple words, adhikarana, section. And then the third file is about combined both, combination of that. You have adhikarana and each sutra, what verses of Bhagavatam are refuted. So you have all the masala to work for all your life. Whole life you can work on this. Yes. Buddhism has got 4 aspects. So you see in the very first adhikarana, which is refuting, very first sutra which refutes Buddhism. 18. What is that? Number 1. You see, next. Adhikarana 3. There are 4 kinds of Buddhism. Got it? What are they? Same. Within Buddhism, there are 4 doctrinal schools. Adhikarana 3. What are they? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Vijnananda, and other one is Vadhyamika or Shunyavad. So just imagine, even in Buddhism there is variety. Even in Mayavad there is variety. Once His Holiness Radha Maharaj was saying that I went to a Mayavadi mutt. They are more personal than our Vaishnavas. The Mayavadis, they are more personal. They saw me, they gave me a separate place to say, everything's okay or not. The head of the matta himself came. He paid a vision system because I'm a sannyasi. And, but in ISKCON, the ones you say, hey, you have a letter or what from your president? Where are you from? Huh? How long are you going to stay? And we are personal school of philosophy. Very, very interesting. So your Shunyavad, the Buddhists, they have a big philosophy. They are Shunyavadis, they have a philosophy. And the amount of books they have written on Shunyavad is unlimited actually. They say Shunya, but so much is there. On the other hand, they say God is all powerful, God is all merciful, but only one book Bible, one book Quran. If you ask them the metaphysics, have no idea, that's all. There's some verses they quote and then they speculate. Even atheism, that is non-Vedic atheism. They have got so much to speak about. But of course, it's all nonsense. Yes.
Here we see all these verses from Bhagavatam how to refute the six philosophies. And on the first session you said that anything in this, any nonsense in this material world is said can be part of these six philosophies and all these modern philosophies, even scientists, everything. So originally, as I understand, the six philosophies came based on Vedas. That's why they count it as theistic.
Yes.
But actually they're atheist because conclusion is atheistic. But that what you sprouted out of them, the modern things, they are not even accepting Vedas also. So although their religion is from them because Vedas is the religion of them. So then this type of quotations from Bhagavatam or Vedanta Sutra will not mean anything to anybody nowadays. So then we have to apply some different meanings according to our circumstances, maybe based on Bhagavatam, but not direct. So how?
You speak from the Bhagavatam, but they don't know, they don't have faith in the Bhagavatam. But you are speaking from the Bhagavatam. It is not that you speak something different from the Bhagavatam, because anything different in the Bhagavatam is actually ignorance. And ignorance cannot destroy ignorance. But a person in knowledge can use ignorance to destroy ignorance. Like, for example, you have a sparrow, not use this word, but still, you don't have to use Brahmastra on it, isn't it? Isn't it? To kill a sparrow, you don't have to use Brahmastra. So sometimes a simple yukti of Nyaya Vaisheshika can be used. Like Krishna, he used Karvimamsa and Sankhya to convince convince Nanda Maharaj not to worship. Yeah. But that doesn't mean Krishna accepted that philosophy as final. Okay. Like, there is one of the subject matters for today, since you asked this question. Like, for example, Krishna, he spoke three wrong philosophies in 3 verses in the 2nd chapter, 26, 27, 28. What are they? Yeah. Yes, yes. Panditji. Avyaktadini, before that. Yeah, that is one of the verse. Tell the verse, na? You are a Pandita, you should tell the verse. Yes. Atha enam nityajatam manyase va nityam va manyase tam. Tatapi means Still, Mahabhaho, you are Mahabhaho, I know Arjuna, you are not going to accept this philosophy. Even if you accept this philosophy of Shunyavad, which is based on Nyaya Vaisheshikas, whose later versions are Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Prabhupada calls them Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. This comes here, refuting Lokayatikas and Vaibhashikas. Even if you accept that philosophy, that soul is born, the soul dies. Atachainam nityajatam, it is eternally born. It takes birth every time. Nityam manyase mritya. Nityam va manyase mritam. Mritam, it dies many times. The soul is born many times, it dies many times. But he started with pravachan with what? With what statement? Na jayate, natvevaham jadu. Exactly opposite he says in the 26th verse. Avyaktadini bhutani, vyaktamadhyani bharata. Avyaktan nidhananyeva tatraka paridevana. That is Sankhya. And then, third verse. No. Jatasya he dhruvo mrityur, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmat tvam apriharyarthe natvam sochitum manasi. Krishna speaks 3 wrong philosophies, actually 6 wrong philosophies in 3 verses.
But this third verse, Jatasya dhruvo mrityu, is talking about body, no?
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur. Jatasya, the one who is born. One who is born means soul. Dhruvaha mrityuhu. Soul has death. So this is the actual meaning of these 3 verses. 3 verses. And then somebody may ask a question to Krishna that you have spoken 3 philosophies which are wrong, or wrong philosophies in 3 verses, and then told Arjuna, even by accepting a wrong philosophy, you have to fight, then what to speak of? Right philosophy. And then 29th verse, that is why Arjuna, the soul is not very easy to understand. That is why you have to go to a spiritual master and understand the soul. How? Repeatedly hear about it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, Ascharyavat paschati kaschidenam, Ascharyavat paschati tataiva chanyaha, Ascharyavat manya shnoti, Shrutvapyainam vedanachaiva kaschid. So, there are 2 meanings. Ascharyavat paschati. What is the first meaning? Somebody looks at it as amazing. Other meaning is, somebody looks at it in amazement. Somebody looks at it in amazement. So what? By hearing from a spiritual master, you look at the soul as amazing. If you don't hear the subject matter from spiritual master, if you use mental speculation, you will be looking at the soul in amazement. Shrutvapyainam vedanachaiva kaschid, you will not understand. Got this? So all these things come not by reading, by teaching. So he's been going on reading for 10 years. You have to come to the field and preach Krishna consciousness. Now you're already 22, 23. Just becoming a pandita, you'll rot. You have to go to the field, meet people, show compassion, cut onto the road, distribute books, work hard. Otherwise, just become bookworm. Nothing is going to happen. I'm just telling him because I can tell him I saw him from childhood. So, so this is how those you got it? Conclusion is the same, but he is using a wrong philosophy. Sometime Vyasa used give a commentary on Yoga Sutras. and defeated Nyaya Vaisheshikas. So when you are accepting something spoken by Chanakya, that doesn't mean you are accepting the Chanakya as absolute Acharya. Like in that book called Didactic Spiritualism, which has now taken a new avatar, Beyond Doubt and Illusion, that book, Srila Prabhupada, he says, in this case Aristotle was right at that level. In this case he was true. Like for example, there is one called nihilism, means there is a philosophy that you don't require anything. Minimalistic use. In America it has become famous during the time when Prabhupada was there. Very famous philosophy. That they would just go in the forest and they would stay. Yeah. Minimum things. They just have some one cloth, that's all. They are more than like Babajis. More Vairagis, big Vairagis. Of course, they stay with many men, many women together like that. That's their whole. And they just stay minimum. And they went to such an extent that why do we require clothes also? You don't require them also. Minimum. Not require. And whatever you find, some stone, something, you just throw on some animal and then put it in the fire, bonfire. And you're killing an animal and say born. I don't know what born. What is born there? Killing an animal is a bonfire. The fire is meant to kill. It is killing fire, not bonfire. Yeah. They put an animal and then they just come and eat it and go away. Burn the animal. And we live with minimum, Vairagis. We don't require clothes also. Just lie in the cave. So there's one philosophy. And they proved to the world that you can live with nothing. But that doesn't mean you accept their philosophy, that you even give up your clothes and you stay nude or something like that. So there are certain truths which are there at particular levels, and you can use that for the purpose of destroying lower truths. So introduced to all these three. Anyway, we are going to come back to these three things quite, but I made sure that it is not theoretical which I am saying, but it is there practically in the book. That Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So after introducing you to these three things, I get back to our notes on Sankhya. Sankhya note. So not Sankhya. Nyaya.
So in this Nyaya, we discussed also that there are also some points where you talk wrongly to establish a point.
Yes.
So this is what you just explained.
Yes.
This is what
Yes.
Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, these wrong philosophies.
Yes.
Like here.
Hetu abhasa.
Yeah.
Hetu abhasa. Abhasa means it is false. Abhasa means false. Hetu means for a particular cause, you use false. Like I give the example of Prabhupada saying, somebody asked Prabhupada, how many followers do you have? Full time? 10,000. So what was the cause? To establish a cause. What is it cause? I'm going to have it. He's so confident about it. Hetu abhasa.
So here also, he did not quote any specific verse or what, but based on that principle, he just logically...
Yeah, based on the principle. Yes. By practicing devotional service with sincerity, Krishna gives the intelligence which is required for that particular time. All Nyaya, you all become logicians. I had no training in Nyaya. Some training in childhood was there, here and there, not that kind of training. But in my college, at that time youth preaching was not very that kind of shape. To practice Krishna consciousness in the college, it was not so easy. Now you have base and you have teacher and all. So in a college I used to go to program. Every Sunday I used to go to temple. So Sunday morning I used to go. One Saturday evening, all my friends were in the room. Then I just went to get some notes from one of my friends to the room. And they were all having a meeting where to go next day. So they all planned to go to a movie. Then One of my friends asked me, hey, we are all planning to go to me, why don't you join us? One friend, oh, he is not going to come along with us. Why you are not going to come? He goes to temple. He goes to Hare Krishna temple. One friend asked, why are you going there? Genuine concern. Why are you going there? With so much of concern and love. Come, mate, let's enjoy with us. Come to a movie. Let's go to. Then one friend told me, seriously, be serious, huh? Very sarcastically told, who goes to the hospital? You know what he meant? I'm sick, I'm mentally sick, you go to the temple. Then I did not give any thought. Spontaneously something came from my mouth. I said, sick people don't go to hospital. Those who know they are sick, they go to hospital. Then all were stunned. And next day morning, 5 people came along with me to the temple. So it's just nyaya. That's Nigrahasthan. You bring them to a point of destruction. That's called Nigrahasthan. Like Prabhupada did it to that car driver. That's what. And it comes by prayoga. When you are in that particular situation, then the consciousness, it becomes very active, it becomes desperate. So struggle makes you progress. You should be always in the position of struggle. You're struggling, then things will come out because consciousness has got unlimited to offer. It is not capacity, it is your struggle what matters. Got it? Okay, so let's go to those 16 points. I'll repeat them and then come back to you. So those who are online, can you when you go to that screen, or I can do the screen sharing also. What should I do for that? So that I'll also join, so that I can share the screen. Where is that? Link. Same, Nyaya students notes. The sound will change. Let it be. We don't want to disturb. Let it be as it is. As it is. Nyaya, the students' notes. What were we reading today? Yesterday, where we left off from yesterday. And the 16 points are there, from starting from Pramana, that one. Go down, go down. Pramana, Prameya, Samshaya. So, from that, 16 points are there. 16 padarthas. When you say Nyaya, yes, from there. Yeah. When you say Nyaya, these are the 16 padarthas. If you say Nyaya, Gautama propounded 16 padarthas, you have 100 marks in Nyaya, pass. Over. Even you know that, that's also pass, big thing. The whole purpose of Nyaya is to establish, Gautama is to establish, these are the 16 padarthas. By using the 16 padarthas, by using your mental speculation, you will come to know the truth. When you know the truth, then all the false, all the doubts are gone. Then the doubt that your matter is gone. Then the doubt that you are existing, that's gone. So nobody exists. Ultimately zero. Ultimately it is shunya. And to such an extent, even God becomes shunya. The one person you said, God, he also establishes God. And the Nyaya system of philosophy, God is known as Adrishta. Adrishta. Invisible. He is invisible. Ultimately, when you realize, when you have self-realization, he will become invisible to you. Adrishta. He becomes not invisible, he's gone. Adrishta ho gaya. He becomes. Okay, Pramana means the source of knowledge. Nyaya goes to a very deep analysis of establishing Vedas as the absolute source of knowledge. Pratyaksha Anumana, Shabda and Upamana examples. These are the 4 pramanas he accepts. And then he establishes Veda as absolute source of knowledge. Many arguments of establishing Veda is the absolute source of knowledge is taken by Gautama, is taken by others from the Gautama. Even Madhvacharya and many of his disciples, Ramanuja also, they take Gautama's way of establishing Veda as pramana. Because he goes to a deep logic to establish and refute Pratyaksha and Anumana. So many examples are used to prove that Pratyaksha and Anumana are not proper source of knowledge. And all these things are from the Gautama's Nyaya Sutras. Prameya. Now Prameya means object to be known. These Prameyas, they are not very clearly described by Gautama, but Vaisheshika, he describes Prameya a lot. So when we go to Vaisheshika notes, you will have more about Prameyas. Prameya means object to be known. And then comes Samshaya, uncertainty. When you hear something, then there are doubts. And doubts are cleared by hearing according to his philosophy. By doing speculation, doubts are cleared. When you are hearing something, you should know the prayojana very clear. Prayojana means the purpose. You can use these things very well because, as I've told, Nyaya as a system of philosophy we reject, but logic we don't reject. Until unless you talk about prayojana, purpose, other person may not be very interested in it. That is why in the beginning of the course only we should talk about the prayojana. What is the purpose? And then you have to explain with different examples because they are not one kind of audience. There are varieties of audience. Somebody is interested in food, then you should give an example of food. Like Srila Prabhupada was very expert in it. One person came and asked Prabhupada that, what will I get by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Then Srila Prabhupada said, do you take drugs, LSD? He told yes. He says, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by being Krishna conscious, you'll become more happy than taking 1 million LSDs. Then you say, how can an Acharya compare this Krishna consciousness to drugs? It is your foolishness, isn't it? Because he is using an example to make him understand. How can you compare Krishna consciousness to drugs? Yes, it is a drug, transcendental drug. What is your problem? Got it? Because of not being, people are not trained in Nyaya, they don't understand the exams properly. And then they draw you to an argument. Draw you to an argument. Like Krishna's hands are compared to a snake. Snake. Yes. Krishna's hands are compared to a snake, and then they go into the heart of the gopis, and then they bite it, and the heart of gopis is full of poison. So Nyaya, if you're trained nicely, you will understand, you will experience rasa also. But if you don't understand, if you speak rasa, oh, what is this? How can Krishna's hands can be compared to a snake? This is atishayokti. It is required. Because to make you understand the extreme pain which the gopis are experiencing in separation from Krishna, it is more poisonous than the snake bite. So for that I will introduce you to one more book. After giving the example, I was thinking of doing that at that time only. Now when the context comes, then only I will introduce. So you, in the files which I have sent, there is one file called where is that? Nyaya Maxims. So there are two aspects to the Nyaya Maxims. One is to explain, other is when there is a prayoga, when the prayoga is done in the literature. There is philosophy, there is literature. When you apply these Nyaya Maxims in philosophy, that is called logic. When you apply these things in literature, literature means Sahitya, that is known as Alankara. So there is a separate book called Alankara Kaustubha. If you are not trained in Alankara Shastra, very difficult to realize relish rasa. Like the example which I gave. To such an extent, in Chatu Pushpanjali, written by Rupa Goswami, he wrote Chatu Pushpanjali, and he says, Vyala, Veni, Vyalangana, Fana, Veni, Vyalangana, Fana. Then Sanatana was saying, how can you compare Radharani's braid to be a snake? Veni means a braid, Vyalangana, Fana, Vyalangana means a snake, Fana. So then Sanatana Goswami, he went and then he did not say like that, but he just thought in the mind. And in Pavan Sarovar, he saw one beautiful young lady, gopi, along with many gopis were there. He saw there is a snake. And he came running. Hey, Gopi! Lali is a snake. Then everybody manifested. Then he understood, yes, Radharani confirmed what Rupa has said is true. Her Veni is like a snake. You got it? So you have these maxims, Nyaya maxims you got. In that just there is one, first one, let us use this one. Apaha Bhaksha Nyaya. Apaha means we know very well it is drink. So when you say he is drinking only water, what does it mean? He is not doing anything else. If I say, Prabhuji, he is only involved in Krishna conscious activity. He is only involved in Krishna consciousness. Oh, he may be involved in something else also. It doesn't work like that. Once you say he is involved only in Krishna, no, there is nothing else involved. So the maximum of living only on water, if it is stated that a person subsists only on water, it does not need to further stated that he does not take any other food. There is no requirement for you to tell. So in the practical level, Nyaya makes you understand the common communication, at the same time rasa. Okay. Because eating, they have eaten so much of scrap, this doesn't go into. And for him, you have to explain furthermore. More things you have to explain. That is why udaharana or examples are very much necessary. If you don't give drishtanta, drishta-anta means by seeing something you understand the conclusion. If you are not able to understand something directly, then you have to give an example. That is why Puranas and Kavyas, they are having a lot of prominence. Vedanta is not for everyone. Like, for example, if you say that Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman, who will understand? Only those who are in too much of goodness, they understand. And that has to be explained. That sun is at one place, but sun rays are spreading. Now I understand. God can be at one place at the same time, everywhere. Ekadesha tasyagne vistarini sarvato yatha. Like fire is at one place, but its heat and light is spreading everywhere. Ekadesha tasyagne vistarini sarvato yatha. Aishwarya drupamekam cha. Though the Lord is at one place, in his Aishwarya form, Suryavad bhodhiyate. Like sun is at one place, but is everywhere. At 12 o'clock, sun is on top of your head, isn't it? Sun is on top of my head. So I'll run 1 kilometer. And you see, where is the sun? Still on your head. What is this? So that is how you explain to your children are sitting in front of you. You want to explain that sun, there can be one person at one place at the same time everywhere. How? Now where is the sun? On top of your head. You run 1 kilometer. Where is the sun? Oh, sun is at one place at the same time. Even after 1 kilometer, he is still on the head. So that's how Nyaya helps you. But Nyaya, system of philosophy, is going to make you a failure. You become atheist. But Nyaya is like a current in the scriptures. Whether to understand philosophy or rasa or even normal exchanges or business or justice, you name it. So Drishtanta, after Drishtanta, you give Siddhanta, conclude, not end. What do you think? And then after giving the Siddhanta, many subsidiary things are there. Like morning in the class, we established that Krishna is Vichitra. Krishna is Vichitra. So that is Siddhanta. Now, and also from that Siddhanta, we deduced that the goal of life is to be completely bewildered by Krishna. Tadatyanta vidambhanam. Now, somebody came and asked a question, probably now we are bewildered by Maya, isn't it? Yes, you are bewildered by Maya because you are not bewildered by Krishna. So you have a choice, whether you want to be bewildered by Krishna or Krishna's Maya. You have a choice. So these are the avayavas. Avaya means limbs. Limbs. Like the body has avayavas, the hands, legs, the nose, the eyes. Limbs, avayava. Then comes tarka. Now this tarka is good because there may be some people who may argue, but they are arguing not for the sake of argument, they want to know the truth. They are quite genuine. So we have to encourage them nicely. Then after avayava, then there is tarka, and after tarka he accepts the conclusion. Yeah, this is conclusion. Concluded. What is the Siddhanta? It's concluded. Accept. Then you will have some people who are interested only in defeating you. So you should be expert in defeating them. Like Modi said, na? What did he say? जो भाषा में समझते हैं उन्हीं भाषा में हम बोलेंगे. We'll speak in the language that you understand. Because you don't understand the human language, then beat. Then you have to use their language. गोली का जवाब गोला से होगा. You shoot गोली means bullet. Gola means bomb. You shoot a bullet, I'll put a bomb. So there are some people who want to shoot you. They don't want to learn. So you have to have bombs with you. You cannot be say, okay. It cannot be like that. You have to have a bomb. How can you say that? Like somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, How many pure devotees are there in your movement? Then Prabhupada, everybody is pure devotee. Other person told, how can you say that? How you cannot say that? You tell how, you prove that they are not pure devotees then. It is his movement, his disciples. And somebody is asking, how can you prove that all of your disciples are pure devotees? They say, you prove they are not pure devotees. So he came with the idea to defeat, and you use nyaya, that is called vada, to defeat the other person. And there is jalpa, gossip. Like somebody wrangling, means you change the subject with no conclusion. If somebody asks you, why Krishna, why Radharani is on to the left side of Krishna? Then what is the answer you give? Change the topic. Why people are dying in this world? Why people are dying in this world? That is not the question to be asked. So you should know. Like when somebody in Prabhupada, when he was giving a lecture, and asked, after the lecture, Prabhupada said, any questions? One person stood up and he asked a question for 15 minutes. Prabhupada heard everything very time. And then, at the end he told, any more questions? What is it, what? It is jalpa. Okay. Over. Anything else? So, you just read the conversations, you will also become a good nyaya. in arguing, in counter-arguing. One devotee told me that I attend ISKCON classes, not for the classes, but at the end, two things are there, which I love. One is the question answers, other is the feast. He says, lectures, all your lectures are boring. I just wait for the last two things. But the question answers are very interesting. There is one Swamiji, Prabhupada's disciple, Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. You heard about him? Huh? He gives only 15 minutes class and then says, any questions? I was wondering, why? The class is for 1 hour. You should go till 9:15 and 8:25 only ended the class. He said, any questions? I told him, what I'm going to do? Prasadam is not ready now. He had come to me around many years back. Prasadam is not ready. I was in tension what to do. How are we going to engage? Then the question answers went on till 10 o'clock. I heard only in his class, people ask questions. Only in his class. And many speakers come and ask, any questions? Just waiting. Hey, nobody should ask. Looking behind, nobody should ask any questions. But this went on. He is a very good guy of his God. In VIHE, he used to organize some Kartik seminars. Every Kartik, 1 month seminars were there here. I used to attend 98, 99, 2000 at VIHE. Just a new devotee at that time. So he had one seminar. What is that seminar named? Anybody knows? Just on logic only. Anybody from VIHE here? Huh? Yeah, none of you were there at that time. Yeah, there's one, I forgot the name. It's very nice. Fallacies and something like that he was talking. Of course, it is a Western ideology of logic, but they are taken from Gautama's Nyaya Sutras and all. Just try to find out. Somebody is good in internet. So he's very good in that. Of course, you are not trained in exactly the Vedic way of knowledge, logic, but many aspects of logic which are there around the world, the courses on logic is all based on Gautama's only, and they have their own speculations also within that. Because Gautama allows speculation, and He told his disciples also, as much as I speculated, you also speculate, no problem. Mental speculation. He is very good in that. One of the very sannyasis within our movement who was very good in giving example and explaining, answering questions. His own name is Swami Maharaj. I don't know where is he now. He's in Agyatavas. He's not seen anywhere. Must become very old also.
He has retired from his activity.
He's retired. He was BBT. I heard, but at that time only he retired. He told, now I'm 50. Prabhupada says, Panchasa Vurdhvam Vanam Vrajet. He had come to me around many times. I was personally serving him at that time. He takes a lot of sweets at night. Baap re baap. I had to go and get more and more sweets for him. Rasgullas would go. Anyway, next. Tarka, and then there is Vada, then Jalpa. Then there is Vitanda. Vitanda means just say opposite. Just say opposite. It may be false. I gave an example of yesterday, Prabhupada saying, when somebody asked him, you have women disciples, how can you initiate women? And not what did Prabhupada say? No, I don't initiate women. In short, a blunt lie, Prabhupada saying. That's called Vitanda. Just say the opposite. Because who is he to ask? Whom should he initiate or not initiate? It's up to him, bhai. Why did you do that? No, I did not. Who are they then? And what did Prabhupada say? Do you have been to America? No. In America, they are only animals. I initiate animals. Go get lost, whatever you want to do. What woman? Because by association with a Mahabhagavata, even Adhama can become a Mahatma, Uttama. Adhama can become a Uttama. So Prabhupada established the power of devotion by speaking a lie. So you can use a lie to establish absolute truth. Okay. Yes.
Once one devotee asked one book distributor
Ah.
that you are selling this book, but this ISKCON is selling, sending your all hard money to the foreign. Then this devotee replied, yes, you are right. And that person was bewildered simply.
True.
So this comes under.
This is called Vitanda.
Then he said, I am telling you this ISKCON is sending money to the foreign.
Ah.
And the person said, yes, you are right. And then he left. So this is Vitanda?
Yeah, it's Vitanda. You are saying what you are saying is right. You are selling money to the right. Foreign.
Speechless.
Yeah. Money is Lakshmi. Lakshmi is Bhakti. We are sending Bhakti to the foreign. Bhagavatam predicts it. Padma Puran predicts it. Bhakti goes to Videsham. Is there now? Videsham gachati. So use all logic. Even to explain, one lady, after the class, she came and told, Prabhuji, you are a sannyasi, you are a brahmachari, you have no responsibilities, it's easy to practice Krishna consciousness. We are grahasthas, so many responsibilities, it's very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. I told that. I asked her, what is your electricity bill? What is your house electricity bill? She was said 500, 600, maximum 700. I told, my electricity bill is 25,000 rupees at that time. Now it's 1.5 lakh rupees. How many children you have? She told, 2 children. I have 25 children. I have 25 devotees. So you are not answering her question. You are addressing her ignorance. So for that you have to do Vitanda. Then comes Chala. Hetu Avasha. Tell a lie to establish a point. Hetu Avasha. Then comes Chala. Perversion, unfair reply. One lady with mini skirt comes in. Swamiji, why you have shaved head? Then Swamiji told, why you have bare legs? She is a press reporter. And Srila Prabhupada's answer was what? Was it fair? Unfair. And she understood that question answer. Then she became very perturbed and then Swamiji told, Prabhupada told that better to have cool head and warm legs. So these conversations you may feel as segmented, one, okay, this conversation, that conversation, but actually they fall under a huge umbrella of Nyaya. Got it? Perversion, jati, futility. Make a person totally useless, look useless. Like once Srila Prabhupada was sitting with devotees, not devotees, some brahmanas, scholarly brahmanas from South India in Hyderabad. So then in the due course of conversation, Srila Prabhupada, do you know who is God? And God, oh, it's very difficult. God, Brahman, who can explain? Inexplicable, it's inexplicable. How can you talk about God? It's very difficult. Vedanta talks, everybody says different things. They all talking Prabhupada. And Prabhupada called one small girl, Saraswati, and told, tell me, can you know who is God? And she told, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he gave the prasad in center. Then he told, you see, in our movement, a small girl knows. You all don't know. Then make them totally useless. Feel that, okay, what is this? So stunned, make them stunned in their approach. And then you have Nigrahasthan. You bring a person to the point of Nigraha, smashing, hammer. So you don't just take the nail and hammer it, you'll break your fingers in arguments. Don't do that. You put the nail in particular way and then hammer exactly at the right time, at the right point, nail goes inside. Many times, many devotees, those who want to give class or explain or answer, they don't know this Nigrahasthan. They get into argument with anybody and everybody at any time. No, you have to bring that person to the point of accepting. When that car, race wala, he came, puffed up person. Srila Prabhupada talked to him about what?
What will you do when the brake fails?
Went on speaking about that car race, this car race, went on for half an hour talking about him. And he was totally involved. He was saying that I am the guru and Prabhupada is his disciple. Then he says, do you pray to God? No, we don't care. I don't believe in God. Then Prabhupada thought, when you are driving very fast, it's 230 miles, 250 miles, and there's a steep curve comes, brake fails. And in that situation, oh God, then pray to God. Then do you know who is he? I don't know. Better know it. Went on. Krishna Supreme Personality, Bhagavad Gita went on. And he was listening. Took the Japmala and went. That's called Nigrahasthan. That means you don't know, you know exactly at what point you have to hit the hammer. Okay, so we'll go further aspects in this philosophy. I just mentioned these points. I have not described how they arrive at these points. Atoms are the source. You may say, how can they say so? Bhagavatam also says atoms are the source, but not the absolute source. The chapter in the Bhagavatam, there is one chapter in the Bhagavatam called Atomic Theory. Heard about it? Anu and Trishanu, Dvayanu, Trishanu, and the Trishanus is the particle which, the smallest particle which is perceivable. In villages or in small towns, when you see through the window, you will find small. You will not be able to find in the cities because too much of smog and dust is there. Where the weather is very clear, you also perceive in the morning time, you close your eyes, immediately open. Then you can find some small things going on. I don't know whether you perceived it or not. Try to see that. That is called Trishanu. That is perceivable. Trishanu is the only thing which is perceivable. And the Trishanu, combination of Trishanus become this whole universe. So atoms are the source is not a new thing for Bhagavatam. It is there, but it is not absolute truth. But he brings you to the level of understanding that this world is atom. When you say atom, don't confuse with the atom of the modern science. Dalton's atom is like a huge mountain in front of Gautama's atom. It is very sukshma. Defense Veda, as I have already told, defense accepts God, but his God is known as Adrishta. It's only for the convenience, because without God, he will be rejected as an atheist. So he has to speak atheism in the garb of a theist. So he accepts God, he accepts Veda just to come under the Vedic banner. Otherwise he will be kicked out. So use. Like mental speculators, to be passed as devotees, they say something and then they say Prabhupada said. You say something and then what do you say? Prabhupada said. Where did he say? Prabhupada said. Very famous. Because when you say to someone Prabhupada said, you keep your mouth shut, isn't it? So they say something which is not true, not very logical. When you argue, what they say? Prabhupada said. That means keep your mouth shut. I don't have any answer for it.
Or if they say Prabhupada never said.
Yeah, Prabhupada never said. You say something and then Prabhupada never said it. As if he's an Acharya, he knows what all Prabhupada said. So, very dangerous. When you talk of Ṣad-darśana, where did Prabhupada say this? Very sure? No, it's not very important. Prabhupada never gave importance to it. Right? How do you know? I'm Prabhupada's disciple. So, and you should know how to deal with these situations. That is why Nyaya is very much required. Anyaya. Just you cannot draw your strength from your position. How can you say that this is right? Because I am president. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, this is bhakti. Why it is bhakti? Because I am a bhakta. So whatever bhakta does is bhakti. I am a devotee. So whatever I do should be? So, it is not even Arab Siddhi. Arab Siddhi is too far, Prabhu. You are in different world. Arab Siddha Bhakti means that is Bhakti. Arab Siddhi Bhakti is Bhakti. Not because you are doing it becomes Arab Siddhi. Arab Siddhi means you do and then offer it to Krishna. That is called Arab Siddhi Bhakti. That is also Bhakti. But whatever I do, because I am a bhakta, whatever I do, it becomes bhakti. That is not logic. So to identify a false and establish, you require logic. Soul and matter are eternal, though they accept the soul is eternal, but ultimately it is Shunyavad. And bondage is because of false notion, and when you remove false notion by the system of logic, by analyzing padarthas, then you will be released from this world. Once you are released from this world, there is no requirement for any God, there is no God, there is no soul, nothing. So ultimately it is taking you to atheism. That way it is atheism. Okay? Yes. Any points to discuss? Yeah, the point.
Maharaj, sometimes they reply, they give two examples of some pastime, and then a person asks, Prabhuji, we have never read in this scripture that this is. Then they reply, it is a Kalpa Veda or something kind of thing.
You are quoting an Acharya.
So that is fine.
It is not that they are saying it is Kalpa Veda. The Acharyas say that it's Kalpa Veda. And it can be, it is true, Kalpa Veda is there. What to speak of Kalpa Veda? Krishna can really reveal his pastime to anyone. And they can describe the pastime in a different way, not a problem. Nothing wrong in that. As long as Siddhanta is established, no problem. Okay, atheism. Kashwani has come, yeah.
So here it is mentioned that philosophy is God for convenience.
What about?
God for convenience.
God for convenience. What is your qualification? What you have studied engineering, you studied in mathematics in your +2 or somewhere? You can say engineering. Okay, you have solved many mathematics problems, isn't it?
Yeah.
By accepting, let x equal to, and then you have x everywhere, at the end there is no x. Beginning no x. So no x in the beginning, no x at the end, only x in the middle. Accepting x only for convenience. Got it?
In this terminology, I got it.
Yeah, God. Their x is God for them. So do we accept God for convenience to solve some problem? So there is no God in the beginning, no God at the end. There is God in the middle.
After solving the problem,
No God. Where is x after solving the problem? So it's only God for convenience.
so like these Panchupasana.
Anything. Anywhere, most of the people are atheistic. Atheistic use God for their convenience.
And what is the meaning of karma multi-various and different Veda?
What is the meaning of karma?
Different Veda.
Defends Veda means they establish Veda as absolute source of knowledge. All the 6 systems of philosophy, they accept Veda as absolute truth. Because if they don't accept, we would have not discussed about them. According to Vedic culture system, till Sripad Madhvacharya, we would not even talk to a Buddhist, you would not talk to a Jain, because they don't accept Veda. Why? If they don't accept Veda, there is no point in arguing. For example, you are there, just you're in the Zoom. Okay, I'm just pointing here towards, okay. This is glass. You say this is glass. I say it is a monkey. Let's argue. Can we lead to any conclusion without we both accepting a common book called dictionary? There should be a common premise for you to argue. If there is no common premise for you to argue, then there is no use. So that is why there is no use in speaking to someone who has no, it doesn't accept Veda as a pramana. You can argue with the Mayavadi, you can argue with the Sankhya, you argue with Nyaya Vaisheshika, because they accept Veda as pramana. And Buddha and Jaina, they don't accept Veda as pramana. That is why when you do a preaching, you go for preaching, Don't say Krishna said, don't say Prabhupada said. No. First you should make them accept Veda as the absolute source of knowledge. In the DYS course, in the common courses what we have in India, which made millions of congregation devotees and other youth also, the first course you take in the college is what? Vedas are the absolute source of knowledge. Shabda Praman. You see anywhere, the first thing which is mentioned is about Shabda Praman to be accepted. If you don't accept that Shabda Pramana, then there is no point in arguing. Okay. So when I travel, some people come for talking, some arguments, some questions and all that. So I just tell them, do you accept Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam? Not. If you don't accept, there is no point. So you have to argue or you have to talk to them till they come to the point of accepting Gita, the Bhagavatam, scriptures. So these systems of philosophies are known as theistic. Though they speak atheism, they are known as theistic. So the Westerners, they consider these 6 are the theistic philosophies. There is Vedic atheism and there is Vedic theism. There is non-Vedic theism and non-Vedic atheism. Vedic theism is Vaishnava, the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas and Gaudiya Sampradaya. The Vedic atheism is Nyaya, 6 systems of philosophy. The non-Vedic atheism is Buddha, Jaina and their bachas. And the non-Vedic theism is Christianity and Islam and Judaism, primarily. Netanyahu. What is he called as? Israel. Jewish. Non-Vedic theism. Yeah, all their bachas. I told them bacha. Bacha means their children. Buddhism and their children who have their rejected parents who are Nyaya Vaisheshikas.
Muslims are also non-Vedic.
Huh?
Muslims are non-Vedic.
Non-Vedic theism. So, oh God, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
They actually themselves are against the Vedic scriptures. They don't accept. Christians may still, Muslims accept each other, but not the Vedics.
Because all these 3 are Abrahamic religions. And Abraham is Brahma. When you pronounce Brahma in original Hebrew, he becomes a Brahma. Like you go to Bihari and then ask him to say, where are you going? Where is your child? He school gaya hai. He school gaya hai. He school gaya hai. So when Brahma was pronounced by Hebrew, Brahma. Abraham. That's what came the word Abraham.
Abrahamic religion means Brahma.
He gave those religion for those people who are anti-varnashrama, the cow killers. Once you kill a cow and destroy the Brahminical culture, they require some religion which is tamasic and who take shelter of all tantrikas. In the West, how much fear they have on tantra. They fear black magic like anything. You chant Hare Krishna, you don't mind. But all the movies, everything, old time English movies, all this whole ghost and all these things, Ghostbuster, they're tamasika. So for them, they had to have some religion. So he sent Jesus and Muhammad and very tamasik. Just cannot even imagine. Killing their own son, sacrifice, so that God, they bring on the table, there on a small child, take this knife and cut the throat. They offered out blood of my son to God. So that is non-Vedic. And of course, theistic. Okay.
Last question.
Yes, no problem.
You have mentioned that not only a much pariksha and ecosystem balancing an example. So that point.
Did anyone understand what he said?
Means you have mentioned that not only a much pariksha, just above that
Anyamata pariksha. Anyamata pariksha means 24 systems of balancing an example. I yesterday explained to you about it. Like you address Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as Simha Guru. Isn't it? Now, somebody would say that he is Simha Guru because he looks like a lion. Is it true? You addressed him as Simha Guru because he looks like a lion because both of them had beard? So you have to balance the example by saying, no, Simha Guru means, actually, I would like to say, his pravachans are like the roar of a lion. Then he goes back and says, yes, he's like a roar of a lion. No, roar of the lion means his pravachans are as powerful as roar of a lion. When the lion roars, the jackals run away. When Srila Bhakti would speak in his pravachans, the disciples, the jackals, anarthas, the jackal called anartha in the hearts of his disciples would run away. Like once Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada said, one devotee, you be like Brahmananda Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhupada had one disciple, Brahmananda Prabhu. Then what happened after a few days, he became very sick. And he came back and Prabhupada, why are you sick? Srila Prabhupada, you said I should be like Brahmananda Prabhu. Then I started eating a lot of Mahaprasad, so that I also become as fat as him. What do you mean by that? I meant that you should be a strong preacher like him. He thought I should be like, he was a thin devotee, and he thought Prabhupada said me, I should become very fat. So for that he went on eating, became sick. So, got it? That is called Anyamata Pariksha and balancing the examples. Pariksha means testing. When you give an example and you give, when it is wrongly understood, then you correct it. That's called balancing the example. Okay. Yes.
24 systems.
There are 24 systems of balancing the examples. There are different varieties within that. Yeah. As I've told, we are not doing a course especially on Nyaya. If I took those 24 systems and give example and differences between that, people do PhD 5 years on this Nyaya Gautama's Nyaya Sutras, and we are going to take in the essence of it. And when you use them, some here and there, then you'll get those points. Okay. It is atheism ultimately because they accept atoms as the source of everything. Charvak view that body itself is jiva. The Nyaya theory that jiva is not the nature of consciousness. The Advaita view is that jiva, which is pure consciousness, identical with Brahman. The Vaisheshika view that jiva is all pervasive, vibhu. Jaina view that the jiva is the size of the body, which occupies. So, all the atheistic views, the modern atheistic views, they, including the modern science, they have their origination in these Nyaya Vaisheshika philosophies. And what is the great benefit of which Gautama speaks? He means that expert knowledge of logic is a great benefit for living entities. He thinks so. God is not included among the 16 items. Though he talks about God, he doesn't accept God among the 16 items. That is why the Vedas have affirmed, Naisha Tarkena Matir Apaniya, God cannot be understood by logic. Gautama sees liberation in this way. Dukkha janma pravrittir dosha mithya jananam uttarottarapatye tad anyatrapayad apavargaha. Liberation means attaining the knowledge that frees one from ignorance, that is the birthplace of all suffering. The general terms used. In general, this sutra may be seen to support the idea of liberation is the cessation of suffering. Spiritual bliss is not present in Gautama's conception of liberation. In his conception, there is no bliss or meeting God. For this reason, Gautama's Nyaya Shastra is opposed to Veda. Karma is adrishta, which makes a soul reincarnate. There is one maker, one creator, but he is different, he is indifferent. He has created the world, finished and left it. You must try to live with the help of your reason. Develop your own reasoning faculty and be reasonable to all your conduct. Then only can you help yourself in this world. There is no other remedy. Be a good logician and then you will be able to control the environment with the power of reason and you will become happy. This is what the sum and substance of Gautama's Nyaya philosophy is according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I am introducing the concept called Arambhavada or Asatkriyavada. Arambhavada, Nyaya Vaisheshikas are known as Arambhavadis. They say the effect is not in the cause. The effect is not in the cause. The famous example they give is the dog is barking. Dog is barking. So the barks are coming from the dog. Is the dog made up of barks? So very nice, isn't it? What a philosophy. But the Sankhites, they say, you are wrong. Definitely, the dog is not made up of barks. But the barks are coming out of the dog because the dog has the potency of barking. Dog has the potency of barking. So potentially the effect is in the cause, in a potential form. Potential form. Like electricity, fan. Oh, fan is rotating. The electricity should also rotate. No, the electricity has the potency to make the fan rotate. Yeah. So it will be, some examples are enough, otherwise you will go crazy. And this is known as Asatkriyavada. When we talk of Sankhya, then we will have more better understanding of these things. But just keep it now. And now these are all the children, grandchildren, friends, granddaughters of Nyaya Vaisheshikas. Who are they? Charvak, the Lokayatikas, Vaibhashikas, and Freud. Yes, Sigmund Freud. Spelling mistake. I don't know English. Sigmund Freud. I don't know spelling. So anyway, it's fraud, isn't it? He's fraud. So you may pronounce anyway. I don't know how to pronounce these names. How do you get Freud? F-R-U-D. E-U-D. It means, anyway, English is a crazy language. You understand. I don't want to. I have no respect for him, so I don't have to write the name proper name. Bureau. When somebody wrote it is from bureau, I thought it is from Birua. A cupboard in our language is called Birua. So the cupboard. Okay. Buddhism. different forms of Buddhism, and these are the Buddhism, yeah. So endowed with a human, such a human form, composed of 4 elements. 4 elements. It comes more in Vaisheshika because Vaisheshika talks about prameyas. Now, all of you must be thinking, why Krishna, he said, Bhumira Ponalo Vayur Mano Buddhirevacha Ahankar Mitiyam Me Binna Prakritastada. Talk something spiritual, Krishna. Why are you talking about Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Earth, Water, Fire? There's so many places, Earth, Water, Fire, Ether, Earth, Water, Fire, Ether. I'm fed up with this. Every Prabhupada, Krishna says, Prabhupada said, in many of the lectures he says, Krishna says, Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Mano Buddhirevacha. Because if you don't accept ether as an element, then you are a Buddhist. And that is why the modern science doesn't accept ether as an element. Because once you accept ether as an element, then Nyaya and Vaisheshika should put, Vaisheshika, all Gautama, Kannada, everybody, all their followers should put Urdhva Punda and chant Hare Krishna. That is a speciality of ether. So, research on ether makes you become a Vaishnava. And that is a reason in the Upanishads, Krishna has been described as ether. Because the quality of Krishna, if at all you can compare anything in this world, it's to ether. Because Akasha, in the 9th chapter, when Krishna says that I am in this world at the same time, I am not in this world. The world is in me, but I am not in this world, isn't it? Matsthani sarvabhutani acham teshavasthitaha nachamasthani bhutani pashyame. And for that, what example Krishna gave? Yatha kashastito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan. Vayu is stitaha, it is established in Akasha. At the same time, it is separate. Akasha is separate from air. Though air is in Akasha, ether is not mixed with air. In the same way, Krishna, though he is all pervading, Krishna is everywhere or not? Is Krishna in stool and urine? He is afraid. How can I tell Krishna is in stool? Yes, he is everywhere. He is there in stool also. But he is not affected by it. Afraid. How can it is a big offense, Mama? How can Krishna is everywhere except stool? That is why he is not. He is everywhere except my brain. Because he is full of stool. Anyhow, don't worry, my mother used to scold me like this. Your brain is full of stool. You don't understand it. So, so there are 4 elements. Earth, water, fire, ether. Earth, water, fire. Earth, water, fire, air. No ether. Because once you accept ether, then you have to accept Einstein. What did Einstein say? E equal to mc square. M means what? Mass. And mass is connected to energy. So mass is energy. Matter is energy. So matter is energy. Matter is energy. How different science started? Called quantum mechanics. There is a big problem in science in the space of quantum mechanics, in the area of quantum mechanics. There's a big problem for them because they don't know what is this ether. Because if you accept ether, then you have to accept consciousness. Then if you have to accept consciousness, which is non-material, that means you become spiritual. You accept existence spirit. And that's what is VIHE working on. Srila Prabhupada wanted this VIHE. Yes, Bhaktivedanta Institute. Bhaktivedanta Institute is not a department to preach to the scientist. Rasaraj Prabhu himself clearly told me, I am not preaching to the scientists. Don't think that why I am not preaching to the scientists. I am solving their problems, so they will come and accept our philosophy. I will not tell them. He told me clearly. I am solving their problems because they have a big problem, because they don't accept ether, and ether is there. If you don't accept, then there is a big problem. The simple question which Einstein asked is, when you throw a stone at a particular force, then you can calculate according to the classical mechanics at this trajectory, this projectile and this acceleration, this far it will travel, all these things you can calculate. But what about when you throw the stone at the speed of light? It doesn't follow same laws. It follows different laws, because that is at the ethereal level. And that is a time when you have relativity. Relativity means what? Relativity of time and relativity of space. The moment you say relativity, you have particular perception, I have particular perception. That means what? Perception is done by consciousness. So this is where the scientists are very much afraid. So all the problems started because we accepted ether as an element. So Nyaya Vaisheshikas, they made sure ether ko baju mein rakh do. Yeah. No God, no ether, no problem. Okay, 4 elements. Consciousness arises from that. What? 4 elements. Just as the red color arises from betel nut, famous example. Or the potency arises from liquor. Potency here means impotency actually. Don't say, I drink liquor and become potency. So the potency to make you impotent. The body made of 4 elements itself is Atma, Charvak philosophy. The body is real, is subject to appearance and disappearance because of its nature of constant change. This is known by regular perception. This is what the Lokayita maintains. Charvak is the leader. When some people say, Kal kaun dekhe yaar, aaj maja kar lo. Who has seen tomorrow? Let's enjoy today. So who is the leader? Charvak. Who has seen tomorrow? Let's enjoy. The verse comes there. They accept the validity only of Pratyaksha Praman, sense perception. Veda has gone. So if you don't accept Krishna and try to be Vedic, you will become atheist. What did I say? If you don't accept Krishna and try to be Vedic, you will end up being an atheist. That's what happened to this whole country. Everybody was saying Veda, 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 but they were not accepting Krishna. They all became atheists. Where are we? It's already 1 o'clock. Okay, let us speak this verse and go. They all accept the validity only. Pratyaksha Pramana, sense perception, the vision of materialism ascribed to Charvak Muni was one attempt to do this. Charvak is said to have denied both logic and laws of karma. He is famous for his preaching. What was his preaching? Rinam kritva gitam pibet जीवेद यावत् सुखम जीवेद भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य किम पुनर्आगमो भवेत्. Bhasmibhutasya dehasya, when body is bhasmi, it becomes bhasma, ashes. Kim punar agam bhavet, how is it going to come back? Over, khatam. So in Vedanta Shamantaka, Charvak was refuted by very jigupsatmaka refutation. Sometimes you have to refute tamas with tamas only. Charvat tava charangi Jarato Viksha Garbhinim Pratyaksha Matra Vishwaso Swasam Kim Ujjasi. So I'll explain it's because very so Charvak was very much angry, very angry when he came to know that his wife was pregnant. He knew very well it is not me who made her pregnant. He's very angry. Hey Charvak, why are you angry? Why are you angry? Because you never saw somebody impregnating your wife. There is no pratyaksha. Ultimately, you depend on pratyaksha praman, na? So you are going against your philosophy. You accept only pratyaksha praman, and why are you angry on your wife? Because you don't have any pratyaksha praman of somebody impregnating her. That's that. Because tamasic examples have to be given for tamas. The Buddhists were, such as the Vaibhashikas, maintained that the Atma is Vijnana Saurabha, different from the body, but still subject to destruction at every moment. Lokayataka philosophy, which claims that body is Atma, we consider that it is self, the body is continuously born, continuously dies. See, we'll talk about it in the next session when we talk about refutation section, Buddhism and all. Okay, something interesting and then stop for today, stop for this section. That is, what great personalities talk about this philosophy? Manu says, anybody who studies Nyaya, I'll excommunicate them. Anybody who studies 6 systems of philosophy will be excommunicated from VIHE. No, you only organize a program. That is why we are not doing 6 systems of philosophy, we are only refuting them from the Bhagavad point of view. Otherwise, Manu will come and say, get lost. Lord Rama told Lakshmana, when Jabali was speaking all atheistic philosophies, he says, anybody who speaks this philosophy, he'll never get my mercy. In Mahabharata, there is a story. There was one Brahmana who was practically making people suffer by speaking all kinds of mental speculation, arguments, counter-arguments, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do. Devotees were afraid. Chaitanya is coming, run away, run away. So, of course, Chaitanya's pastime. Here, this Brahmana was really troubling them. Nyayikas, they trouble people like anything. It's like I'm troubling you now for past 3 days. These logicians, they are very, until they defeat someone, they don't get the special rasa, isn't it? You have to get one person, come here. And you have to say something, they'll say something, you defeat them, get some special pleasure by defeating people. This Brahmana was like this. And Krishna looked at that Brahmana. Immediately what happened, Brahmana, he became a jackal. And he ran into the forest. So anybody who takes the philosophy of Nyaya becomes a jackal. Be careful. Vyasa, how he defeats the Nyaya Vaisheshikas are there in the 2nd chapter, 2nd pada, 17th sutra. We'll do in the afternoon. Refutation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very beautiful words. We'll end with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srinimaya Panditeti Namadesha Vanditam Navyatarka Daksha Laksha Damba Damba Kanditam Dambi Damba Kanditam Stapaitartha Kanda Kanda Kanditartha Sambharam Premadhama Devameva Naumi Gaura Sundaram. Madhuryam Samapyat, isn't it? So, who is Chaitanya? He is respected all over the world as learned scholar, Nimai Pandit. He would crush the ego of the proud Nyaya scholars of his time by his numerous ingenious and original arguments, both. And after having them shattered with the traditional theories, he would again establish them. I sing with joy the unending glories of my golden Gaur Sundar, Lord of my heart, the one and only abode of divine love. Vikjana Thakur, in the principles of surrender, he talks about how that these systems of philosophy, I read them, I frustrated with them. So there's a nice song that you can read by yourself, you can sing it. I quoted this song in the morning class. Keshava tuva jagata vichitra. Karma vipake bhava vana brahme. So all these, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he refutes them. And Saurabha, who is our, at that time, one of the great experts in Nyaya, schools of philosophy, was, what is it? Jnatam karambojamatam parichita vaviki kanvikshiki sikshita mimamsa viditaiva sankhya sharaner yoge vitirnamati vedanta paridishilata sarabhasam kintu spurham madhuri dhara kanchananda sunu murali machittama karshati. I have carefully understood Kannada's Paramanuvada philosophy, which is known as Kanabhoja. And I have studied Gautama's Nyaya philosophy. I know Jaimini's Karmamamsa philosophy. I have already traveled on the path of pseudo-Kapila Sankhya philosophy. I have applied my mind in Patanjala Yoga philosophy. I didn't study Vyasa's Vedanta philosophy. None of them attract me anymore. It is the flood of the sweetness of Lord Nanda Sunu's flute that attract my heart. So, something about the realization of Vrindavana and other things. So, we complete Nyaya now. We will take a Vaisheshika in the afternoon. At what time? 2:30? 2:30. So 2:30 we will take up of Vaisheshika and refutation of Nyaya Vaisheshikas. I have given the notes for both of you. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, there are 4 Vedas also. Are there any priests in charge of these Vedas?
Yeah. Brahma, Udghata. Written in the notes it is there. 4. These are